Welcome to Chatting the Podcast, where we're going to talk about real talk from real people with real perspectives. And today I want to have a vulnerable conversation, and we're going to have the conversations that matter in today's society from the generation that's affecting today's society. You know what I'm saying? So today is going to be all about social influences, social media influences, and how social media influences us specifically in today's generation. So first, I feel like in order to talk about social media, you have to say what it is. So I got me a little definition, and it says that they are virtual interactions among people which create, share, and or exchange information and ideas in virtual communities and networks. And that just sounds like a lot. And basically when I broke that down, I'm like, okay, so people are creating and sharing and having conversations, cool, in this virtual robot reality where, we all get to share glimpses of ourselves. That's ultimately what social media is. And in the midst of it having good, bads, pros and cons, I feel like social media definitely does have a lot of goods. A lot of business, you know what I'm saying? A lot of networking. I know a lot of people, Tyler Perry be finding people on social media, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely doing its due diligence, but in the same retrospect, I can say that you definitely see a shift from generation to generation with social media. Like, even with the way kids just know and are able to operate social media and technology versus like our parents and our grandparents who haven't thought twice about it but have completely different perspectives on it. So let's get into the perspective. You see that 360 moment. And I really want to talk about how social media affects us, mind, body, and soul. So how it's affecting our mental, how it's affecting our physical, how it's affecting our spiritual, because I think ultimately, like, when you sit back and really break down how the things you do on a daily basis affect you, it really shows you kind of what you prioritize. And I don't know. For me personally, I found value in just taking the time to analyze everything I do and everything I encounter and interact with. So for the mind, I think one of the first things that we have to break down is expectations versus reality on social media. So we're talking about life. I don't know how many times I done seen the keys with the apartment, and I'm proud of y'all, man. I'm proud of y'all. But as somebody who just graduated college, and you know what I'm saying, I don't got the keys yet. But I'm happy for you. But for somebody else, like, some people genuinely will take that and internalize it and be like, dang, why I didn't get that, or why I didn't get this? But it's like, you have to be able to balance the fact that just because somebody else got it and wants to show it off, that don't got nothing to do with you. That is them. We're going to clap it up. Hello. Jobs. Social media we use, to showcase what we're doing. And a lot of people, show their jobs, even relationships. Couple goals. Oh, couple goals is killing us. Couple goals is killing us. You know why? Because everybody's comparing. Like, I will say, if anything, comparison is the thief of joy. Like, every relationship is going to be different. Everybody's job is going to be different. Everybody's life circumstances is going to be different. So if you're comparing what you have in front of you to what somebody else has, you're never going to be happy. And that's really what I realized, because I'd love to post a little, couple goals picture. You know what I'm saying? A little me and my bae sitting on the island. But that's not where I'm at, and that's fine. So I'm gonna post my picture with my homegirl at Ocean City because it's cute, and that's what I got. And I'm not putting no other expectations except for what I can have and what's right in front of me, right? And also sometimes, like, I don't think people really understand how comparing what you have to other people, like, it's affecting your mental and your self-esteem, bro. Like, it genuinely can alter your state of reality because you're so caught up on everybody else's reality. That's a crazy concept right there. But to that same token, I say that we do spend and waste a lot of time on social media consuming things that don't matter, like other people's reality. Hours of scrolling with no result. And I wrote that down and I looked at that. And I really was like, I can't tell you how many times I've been on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I can't tell you how many times I've been on TikTok. I'm on there for 4 hours, and then the man show up saying, hey, stop scrolling, and I'm scrolling right past him because I'm going to keep watching my TikToks. But I just sat there and watched that for 4 hours, and I learned nothing. I gained nothing other than what I learned. The people, I do know what what's the thing called that happened to the submarine when it went implosion? I know what an implosion now is because of TikTok. Absolutely, I do know that. But it's like, did I need to spend 4 hours to know what that was? I could have looked it up myself. So, we have our ups and downs, but to sit there pointlessly is pointless. And I think we also need to note that, because it's like, you say you got 24 hours in a day, but you really got like 12, 16. You spend 5 on social. Next thing you know, we talking about we got maybe 9, 10 hours left in a day. I gotta eat, you know what I'm saying? Maybe catch up on a couple episodes. That's 2 hours to 3 hours to get done what I really want to do for the day, and I just spent that all on social media. So it's like putting that into perspective to also understand how it's consuming you in a way that is not always the most positive. And consumption, because especially in today's generation, y'all, especially, I have to get on my friends, I have to get on my own family. There's no reason we're sitting at a table and everyone's on their phones. Everyone, you're watching my story sitting across from me. I'm right here. Like, you don't have to do that. You can wait until you get home because you can exist in the space you're in. Like, I feel like as a generation, we don't know how to exist in the moment that we're in, because the first thing we want to do is look down on our phone and see what somebody posted on their story. Day and them at Ocean City, my cousin out to eat, they got mimosas. Like, that don't really matter when you're home and you're on your bed and you're chilling. That's one thing. But if you're out and you're with your friends and you're with your family, why are we on the phone doing nothing? Like, I do definitely feel like we have to adjust that, because I think it also has altered our ability to, I even say, take risk. Like, everybody wants to hide behind this virtual reality. Y'all, there's no reason, and I'm gonna say this with guys too. I personally, I'm gonna speak from experience, I have been seen, I guess, out, hanging with my friends, you see some people that look good, but you say nothing. And then you message me on social media and say, I didn't want to say anything, but I saw you. Well, you didn't see me because we didn't talk, because there was no interaction. Because me looking at your social media account means nothing to me. I don't respond to messages like that because I think they're dumb. Because I ultimately feel like, I don't know what's wrong with our generation. I don't know if everybody's scary now, but I feel like, especially, like, I can only speak from my perspective, but I know guys are quicker to hit me up on my DM than they are in person, and I think that's insane. I think that's genuinely insane. Because are we not humans? Are we not meant to interact and feed off each other? If you're supposed to be my husband one day, you think you're going to meet me on my DM? No. That's not happening. I'm not meeting my husband in my DM. I'm not meeting my husband in my DM. And to also, like, kind of pinpoint off of that, I think, also when I talked about comparison is the thief of joy, I think in relation to, our body, social media definitely plays a super relevant part in that. It's made that idea that people have to look a certain way, like, I can only mess with somebody that look like this, or I can only mess with somebody that, looks like this because of what social media projects as perfection. Because if we doing perfection right now, I ain't making a cut. I ain't got the butt. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got the hip, I ain't got the Fashion Nova body, I ain't got the long extendo down my back, I don't got the perfect touch-up makeup, and it's okay. Like, it's genuinely okay. But I feel like sometimes social media makes us feel like, oh, you can't post this without, having the full face and the bust down. Like, you can't post the picture that, don't showcase your body because you were having fun and smiling in the moment. Like, I think we also, because I will even say I catch myself in those moments where it's like, is this, you know the conversation, is this story worthy or is this, post worthy? Like, it don't matter. If you want to post it, bro, post it. Like, we put too much pressure on the fact that I feel like we're genuinely trying to set up to this standard that's impossible. Because even the people that meet the standard What they had to do to get there?
Buy
What they had to do to get there. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I love our natural queens. You know what I'm saying? My Pookie, that's my grandma, y'all. You know what I'm saying? She got the volumps for days, but that was given. She didn't have to buy it, and you don't need to buy it. Like, I feel like the fact that people feel that they have to go and take that step is insane. Because one day I'm going to get it. Y'all, I am manifesting my butt. That sounds crazy, but I'm doing it, and I'm going to get it. And I'm going to take my tail to the gym, and I'm going to get my dream, not society's, my dream, health standards, my dream body, all that from taking the steps that I need. But that's what I have to do. And I think it's very interesting, though, that we talking about buying it. In like 100-something years ago, people were being mocked, literally mocked, because they had butts, because they had hips. Sarah Baartman was mocked. Sarah Baartman was mocked and paraded around Europe because she had hips and a butt that people now pay money for. I just want that to be a 360 moment, to also just realize how much we should just value what we got, because they wish they had it. So we don't need to go buy it because you got it, baby. It's ingrained in you. We don't need to take that extra step. But I'll even say I think it's on the people, we talking about social media, the influencers, those who have the standard. Beyonce talked about Sarah Baartman in her song. I almost want to look up the lyric. She said something about hips like Sarah Baartman, something. She said something like that in the album she made with Jay-Z, because she has that platform. And if you don't know who she is, you gonna look it up and you gonna know, because she highlighted it. But that's on us. Like, we can't forget about what happened in the past, because if we also being real, there was people sitting there looking at Sarah like, dang, I wish I had that. And then they made a way to go get it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But to that extent, being in those physical spaces, I think that because of social media's expectations, like, we are unable to just be there. Like, I know when I go on social and, like, we talking about, like, that perfection, we talked about perfect relationships, but, like, interactions. The idea that when you go on social media and you see people dancing, they're not dancing together. Somebody's dancing on somebody else. And it's the woman dancing on the man. And they shaking their booty, butt, doing a butt, like, that's what's going on. But I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's a new thing. Like, I feel like once twerking came out, yo, we was doomed. Like, once people started defining, like, this is twerking, and the action of twerking looks like this, and this is how you do it, we was doomed. Because when they was getting jiggy and doing the butt, it was just dancing. Like, people at school dances, y'all remember? Well, I don't remember, because I only seen this on Love and Basketball. But when they used to ask people to dance, do you remember that? Well, you don't neither. But Jerry, you do know about that. At one point, they was asking people to, like, dance. Like, will you dance with me? Can I ask you for your approval to get that close and just enjoy your company? Ooh, girl, you been getting it. Now it's like, hey, let me slide behind shorty real quick while she hitting a 1-2. What? But then, like, social just shows, like, this is what it is. Like, okay, I'm posting my homegirl, A, she's twerking, A, the boys right here. Like, this is what it looks like. Like, this is fun. And even with the parties and stuff, like, I just graduated college, so I know exactly what it looked like. You go into a party, aka somebody's dorm room, and it's 10 people in there, the first thing people are saying is, this whack, I'm leaving. It could have been fun. Y'all could have played Twister and made memories. Like, you could have made TikToks and enjoyed your time together. But social media says it's not jam-packed to where everybody like this, and it's hot, and it's not, clouded up in smoke, and I don't smell liquor everywhere, so this ain't gonna be fun. But that's a social expectation. Like, nobody can define how to have fun. I said I have a lot of young women in my life going to college, and one of the biggest things that I said to them is, don't think you're missing out on anything because you're not fitting society's norms, that you have to do what they say. And I mean that in terms of the minute you go to college, people are like, okay, watch the parties. When you go to the parties, don't do this, don't do that, this, that, and the third. I can count on my hand after graduating how many parties I went to. Because I spent most of my time with my friends, and that's okay because that's what I enjoy doing. Everybody got their own thing. If you want to go out and party all day, sure, they party to the world end. But I will say we don't have to keep sitting in the idea that it's only one way to do things, because it's not at all. And then last, I feel like we have to touch on the soul. And the soul is, everybody got their own thing. Me, I love the Lord, you know what I'm saying? But my Jesus Christ Savior. But I feel like when we talk about the soul in relation to social media, we're talking about how it's affecting us internally. We talked about how it's affecting our mental. We're talking about how it's, affected how we physically interact with one another. But how is it really affecting how we feel? How after watching those TikTok videos of girls, passing away in a tragic moment or something just crazy happening, how do we reflect, y'all? How do we reflect on those moments? Because I even know that when everything was going on with even George Floyd, it may be a couple years ago, but y'all, we are desensitized and literally watched a man nationally be murdered. And of course, it hit headlines. There was attraction that came from it, but this was something that was heavy. And you can't scroll out of it. The minute I get on social media, that was all I see. So how is that affecting my soul? And one thing I'll say with social media, we have to be very cognizant of not letting it, get us out of tune with ourselves. I see this, I understand this. And every time something happens in my life, every time I feel some way about something, I have to overanalyze it and note, how is this affecting me or taking me out of tune with myself? I feel ill because of the fact that I saw this happen. So I need to take time to disconnect. That's another thing. For our soul, y'all, it's okay to disconnect from social. I haven't been on social media in the past 5 days. And I told my sister, I was like, yeah, I deleted, social. I don't know, I just felt real heavy. I just felt like I needed a break. And the response was, wow, you strong. Because I deleted the app, y'all. That's what we've come to? Deleting the app is a source of strength because we don't want to be in the loop and we want to be in tune with ourselves. That's an issue. That's a real big issue that I feel like a lot of us, I hope you can watch this and be like, dang, if I were to delete my Twitter, my Instagram all right now today and not touch it for 5 days, how would you feel? What do you feel like you would gain or even maybe lose, positive or negatively? But I feel like there's always more to gain because, like I said, you're getting to be in tune with just yourself. There's no outside influences. So, all in all, as we know, social media is the way of the world right now. It's how we connect. It's how we stay in touch. It's how we move. But I think the biggest takeaway is really, as we're talking about influences in this era, to not allow certain influences to consume you. Sometimes social media can be a consumption. So just being aware of how these things affect you and just taking a second to just take a second. It's okay, I promise. But it's been fun chatting and I hope y'all had fun with me and I can't wait to see y'all in the next episode.